The 6 major attractions are Thorpe Park's front page reveal of heightened speed, that wing over drop sensation you find on the Swarm, or that intimate punchy launch you find on Stealth. Well today, what's the worst roller coaster and what's the best in terms of the major 6 thrill coasters at a Thorpe Park resort? Let's find out and get curating. Number 6 for me is the Swarm. This Boulevard and Marbleard wing coaster, being the first type in the UK, is fantastic. You've got the great immersion over the island itself with the ambulance, the fire truck and then the head chopper after the 0G roll. But overall, the wing over drop sensation is fantastic. You've got the nice forceful forces and then no hang time at the start of it after the chain lift itself. And then you've also got the inline twist being great, especially although you get screamers every time you do ride the Swarm on the coaster itself. And then you've got the low to the ground section, which is brilliant when you put your hand up to the side and you can feel the water that is nice low to the ground and is quite forceful as well. Hence why it is number 6, but overall it is quite smooth to be fair and not the most forceful in some places. That is why it is at that place. 5 for me is Colossus, the world's first 10 looping coaster by Intamin. Now of course you've got the low chain lift being iconic, but overall the trains itself, to be fair, are not that good. They're very restrictive in terms of legroom, height and comfortableness indeed, as they're very restrictive and not easy to carry your bag over. But overall with the roller coaster itself, you've got the 4 quad-like heartline rolls being fantastic. They're nice and whippy and overall a long duration. And then you've got the Cobra roll on the left side as you got being a little rough, but the coaster, to be fair, is underrated and does need more credit, with the last inversion being the most underrated on the ride itself. And then you've got the 2 whippy corkscrews being great and fantastic for the attraction itself. I do think if you lean your head forwards, Colossus can be smooth and enjoyable, but I do not recommend if you are a larger guest in person. Number 4 for me is Thorpe, the Gurnt Slammer Eurofighter with a custom layout at the park. Now this ride can be rough if you do not adapt to the experience. For example, you've got to press your feet inside the train and lean your shoulders forward with your head facing upwards to have a smooth ride itself. If you do not do this, it will be rough, especially with a pothole at the bottom of a beyond vertical drop. Although the feeding for Thorpe is fantastic, you've got the ejector airtime and then the indoor drop with a surprise of a bit of ejector airtime as well. The layout itself is fantastic. It's not repetitive and you've got the heartline roll being nice and smooth, and then that airtime hill I would definitely say is the best airtimer in the UK, or you could say the one on a smiler on the second hill itself. Although the ride on the dive loop as well is very forceful but can be a little uncomfortable, especially if you're just going to sit normally in a normal position and bang your head from side to side. Number 3 for me is Nemesis Inferno. Now this for me is the better Boulevard and Marbleard being an invert itself. It's fantastic. You've got the forcefulness of the loop and the 0G roll and a tight corkscrews with the banking itself. You've got a great pre-lift, to be fair. Shame the effect of the smoking lift does not work, and then you've got the station audio being fantastic. I do wish Nemesis Inferno did have a bit more feeling to the sensation itself, but overall it's a great attraction, to be fair. You've got the whippiness and it's intense. I would definitely go out sometimes on a hot summer's day, so make sure you guys do keep hydrated for that one. But overall I would say it is the better inverted coaster and overall underrated as well, hence why it's at number 3. 2 for me has to be Stealth. Now this intimate accelerator has a very world-class launch. It's punchy, it's forceful, it's short, it's sweet, and it's over within a snap of a finger. It's brilliant, honestly. It gets me every time at a Thorpe Park resort. You've got the top hat giving sustained ejector airtime. It's brilliant, to be fair. It doesn't really matter what row you sit on that top hat. No matter where you sit, you will get ejector airtime. And then same with a magnetic hill into the brakes itself. To be fair, Stealth is short and sweet, which is kind of a shame, but overall if it had a long ride, I would say it would definitely be the best coaster at Thorpe Park itself. It's very good attraction. You must do this every time you come to Thorpe Park. It is the British King Dakar. You've got the salt, the sweetness. It's like a bag of sweets, really. You just want to get over with it, really, when it comes to the ride experience. So overall, it's really enjoyable, hence why it's at number 2. Number 1 for me We've got a bit of Mac product, yes, Hyperia, the UK's tallest and fastest roller coaster. Now, this coaster has the best drop in Europe, without a doubt. You've got the twists, the laterals, the forces, and then you've got the bar trick, where essentially you have a grey metal bar in front of the odd rows. Hold on to this bar while doing the main jump. You're going to get a sustained ejector airtime on it. It actually feels kind of scary, especially doing that. This drop is so good. And then you've got the Immelman being a bout machine, to be fair. You've got to keep hydrated or you will go out on there, although it does not go upside down. And then the outer bank itself is fantastic. The sustained ejector airtime, it feels like good air forever looking down on the trees. And then you've got the twist. I do wish the twist on the Premier Roll itself had a bit more whip to the experience itself, with an overall great package. And then you've got into the dive stall itself. Now this dive stall, especially before the wheels sort of changed, the hang time on there was crazy. It felt like you were there for a good 6 seconds with a ride experience. Now the wheels have been changed, but overall the hang time is still very good as you look down into the queue with that stall, and then you get pulled down into the trim brakes, which is course the worst part of the ride itself. And then you've got the wave turn being underrated. Now really the wave turn doesn't matter where you sit, it just lovely weights you from left to right with that brilliant pull through the sideways airtime. And then you've got into the brakes. Now I do wish the ride was longer, to be fair. Overall it is a great experience, and overall a fantastic and must visit and must do every time you come to the Thorpe Park Resort, hence why it's the UK's best, and best at Thorpe Park being number 1. Let me know what park I should do next out of these two, Chessington or Aldrin Towers, and also don't forget to subscribe and keep creating.